Hello friends, in this video I will be talking about Standard 4B additional compensation arrangements. As the name suggests, additional compensation. Matlab, if you are employed by a firm and you are getting some extra compensation from outside of the firm. Meaning, if your employer is paying you some salary and you are getting paid by someone else also. For that, you need the permission. Now understand who all can give you this additional compensation. So the first person who can give it to you can be your client. जो आपका एम्प्लॉयर दे रहा है उसके अलावा आपको क्लाइंट कुछ एक्स्ट्रा पेमेंट कर सकता है और अदर एम्प्लॉयर if you are working simultaneously with some other employer, that employer can give it to you. So majorly these two categories of people can actually give you something extra than what you are earning. So there's only one point, let's read. Before accepting any kind of direct or indirect compensation, benefits, gifts from clients or third parties, you must obtain a written consent. मतलब एक written permission चाहिए from the employer that may create conflict of interest. Meaning, if someone else is paying it to you, then there can be a conflict. You might lose your independence. So therefore, you need a written consent. And last line says written consent includes email approval also. Basically type किया हुआ भी चलेगा, written भी चलेगा, but not oral consent because then you cannot prove कि ये बुरा था या नहीं. So written consent चाहिए and email approval will do. Application. Problem 1. Geoff Whitman, a portfolio analyst for Adams Trust Company, manages the account of Carol Cochran, a client. Whitman is paid a salary by his employer and Cochran pays the trust company a standard fee based on the market value of assets in her portfolio. Understand what is happening? Whitman जो है वो employee है and he gets salary from the employer. Then there is a client, Cochran. Cochran pays the trust company, basically the employer. So the client is paying the employer a standard fee based on the market value of portfolio. Then Cochran proposes to Whitman that any year that my portfolio achieves at least 15% return before taxes, you and your wife can fly to Monaco at my expense and use my condominium during the third week of January. देखो क्या हो रहा है. फर्स्ट केस, एक एम्प्लॉयर है, वो अपने एम्प्लॉई को सैलरी पे कर रहा है. देन देयर इज अ क्लाइंट हु इज पेइंग योर एम्प्लॉयर सम फी. नाउ द थर्ड प्रपोजल इज दिस क्लाइंट वांट्स टू पे द एम्प्लॉई, बट वो पे नहीं कर रहा है, दिस इज इनडायरेक्टली पेइंग. He says that if in any year I get 15% return before taxes, you and your wife can fly to Monaco at my expense. मतलब फ्लाइट का टिकट्स ये स्पॉन्सर करेगा एम्प्लॉय का. ऑल्सो यूज माई कॉन्डोमिनियम ड्यूरिंग द थर्ड वीक ऑफ जनवरी. मतलब यूज माई ओन अपार्टमेंट, यूज माई ओन प्लेस टू स्टे देयर. Whitman does not inform his employer of the arrangement and vacations in Monaco the following January as Cochran's guest. बेसिकली ये जो भी है, दिस इज़ नोन एज एडिशनल कॉम्पेंसेशन अरेंजमेंट. एंड डिस्क्लोज का तो बात ही छोड़ो, डिस्क्लोज नहीं, ही हैज़ टू टेक रिटन कॉन्सेंट और रिटन परमिशन. सो डिस्क्लोज तो करना ही है बट रिटन परमिशन भी लेना है. एनीवे, ही हैज़ नॉट इन्फॉर्म्ड हिज एम्प्लॉयर ऑफ एनीथिंग एंड दैट इज़ वाई दिस बिकम्स अ वायोलेशन. कॉमेंट. Whitman violated Standard 4B by failing to inform his employer in writing of this supplemental contingent compensation arrangement. See, it is contingent because 15% आएगा या नहीं, that depends on the market. The nature of arrangement could have resulted in partiality to Cochran's account, which could have detracted from Whitman's performance with respect to other accounts he handles for the Adams Trust. Whitman must obtain the consent of his employer to accept such supplemental benefit. If some client is paying you something like this, कि जाओ तुम मोनाको चले जाओ, तुम मेरे अपार्टमेंट में रहो and something like that, then you will be partial to that client. That client becomes your first priority now, and then the other clients will not be your priority. So that can create a conflict. That is why this is a violation. Problem 2. Terry Jones sits on the board of directors of Exercise Unlimited Inc. In return for his services on the board, Jones receives unlimited membership privileges for his family at all Exercise Unlimited facilities. Basically, what is happening here? एक टेरी जोन्स है जो बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स ऑफ एक्सरसाइज अनलिमिटेड, इसका बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स है एंड इन रिटर्न उसको अनलिमिटेड मेंबरशिप प्रिविलेज मिलता है. जोन्स परचेजेस exercise unlimited stock for the client accounts for which it is appropriate. Now, you are one of the board of directors of one company. That company is giving you unlimited membership benefits and you are recommending your client to buy that company's stock. मतलब इधर कुछ तो भी गड़बड़ है. Jones does not disclose this arrangement to his employer because he does not receive any monetary compensation for his services to the board. ये पहली बात तो एक एम्प्लॉई है कहीं पे तो, एंड देन ही इज ऑल्सो अ डायरेक्टर. ठीक है, अब एम्प्लॉई को तो क्या मिलता है? सैलरी. ये जो डायरेक्टर है उसको क्या मिल रहा है? कुछ तो भी प्रिविलेज मिल रहा है. Now this is nothing but additional compensation arrangement. बट वो लास्ट लाइन में ऐसा बोलता है, आई विल नॉट डिस्क्लोज दिस टू माई एम्प्लॉयर बिकॉज कोई मॉनेटरी कॉम्पेंसेशन नहीं मिल रहा है. अरे मॉनेटरी हो, नॉन मॉनेटरी हो, डायरेक्टली हो, इनडायरेक्टली हो, कोई भी टाइप का कॉम्पेंसेशन हो उसके लिए रिटर्न कंसेंट नेसेसरी है. So in this case there is a conflict and therefore there is a violation because of non-disclosure. Comment: Jones has violated standard 4B by failing to disclose to his employer benefits received in exchange for his services on the board of directors. The non-monetary compensation may create a conflict in the same manner as being paid to serve as a director. तो बेसिकली ये एम्प्लॉयर को नहीं पता था कि ही इज ऑल्सो डायरेक्टर एंड ही इज गेटिंग सम कॉम्पेंसेशन. दैट इज वाई इट इज अ वायोलेशन. Problem 3. Jonathan Hollis is an analyst of oil and gas companies for specialty investment management. He is currently recommending the purchase of ABC Oil Company shares and has published a long, well thought out research report to substantiate his recommendation. Several weeks after publishing the report, Hollis receives a call from the Investor Relations Office of ABC Oil saying that Thomas Andrews, CEO of the company, saw the report and really liked the analyst's grasp of the business and his company. The Investor Relations Officer invites Hollis to visit ABC Oil to discuss the industry further. मतलब अभी तक क्या हुआ है, ये जोनाथन जो है, जोनाथन इज एन एनालिस्ट. ही रोट अ रिपोर्ट ऑन ABC Oil Company and ABC Oil Company's investors relations officer has called him for discussing the industry in general. ABC Oil offers to send a company plane to pick up Hollis and arrange for his accommodations while visiting. Hollis, after gaining the appropriate approvals, accepts the meeting with the CEO but declines the offered travel arrangements. मतलब उसने क्या किया, ये जो ट्रैवल अरेंजमेंट किया है वो प्लेन वगैरह सेंड कर रहा है, दैट ही हैज़ डिक्लाइंड. इफ़ यू रिमेंबर ये स्टैंडर्ड 1B के लाइन में है. 1B said that you must pay for your own travel etc., which is in line with that. There is no violation. Several weeks later, Andrews and Hollis meet to discuss the oil business and Hollis's report. Following the meeting, Hollis joins Andrews and the investment relations officer for dinner at an upscale restaurant near ABC Oil's headquarters. Upon returning to specialty investment management, मतलब कि उसका employer, Hollis provides a full review of the meeting to the director of research, including a disclosure of the dinner attended. तो अभी ये स्टोरी को समझो. Jonathan has written a good research report on ABC Oil Company. ABC Oil Company के CEO को ये बहुत अच्छा लगा and he asked his investment relations officer to call Hollis to the company, and then they met, they went for dinner, etc etc. Firstly, ये जो travel arrangement था, कंपनी का प्लेन वगैरह आएगा, that he has declined, which is a good thing. He took all the approvals to actually accept the meeting with the CFO or CEO in this case. वो भी चलेगा, that is also a good thing. Then they met at some place for dinner. वो भी उसने आके disclose कर दिया and also full review of the meeting. जो meeting में बात हुई वो सब उसने director of research मतलब के अपने supervisor को बोल दिया है. Therefore, I see no violation of this standard. Comment: Hollis's action did not violate standard 4B. Through gaining approval before accepting the meeting and declining the offered travel arrangements, Hollis sought to avoid any potential conflict of interest between his company and ABC Oil. Because the location of the dinner was not available prior to arrival, and Hollis notified his company of the dinner upon his return, accepting the dinner should not impair his objectivity. मतलब ये ABC Oil के बाजू में ही था ये dinner का place. He was not aware of that, and when he became aware of that, that is when he actually disclosed it. So it is okay. By disclosing the dinner, Hollis has enabled specialty investment management to assess whether it has any impact on future reports and recommendations by Hollis related to ABC Oil. मतलब उसके एम्प्लॉयर को अब सब कुछ पता है कि ऐसा ऐसा हुआ था, उसको यही ऑफर आया था, उसने डिनर पे गया था, एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा, एंड देन द एम्प्लॉयर कैन जज वेदर दिस एम्प्लॉई इज सूटेबल फॉर राइटिंग रिपोर्ट्स इन फ्यूचर और नॉट. So this way, this is not a violation. This is in line with the standard 4B's requirements. That is it. This is the whole standard. Thank you.